Lindsay Wagner lived a double life for 30 years, and no one knew. Until now, a revelation that has surprised fans who believed they understood the woman behind one of television's most iconic roles. For much of the world, Lindsay Wagner will forever be associated with strength, intelligence, and grace, traits she embodied so convincingly on screen that audiences assumed they reflected her entire reality. Yet behind the public image of a confident star navigating fame with ease, Wagner was quietly living a second, far more private existence that few could have imagined. This wasn't a double life of scandal or deception, but one of deep contrast, between public success and personal exploration kept largely out of the spotlight. At the height of her fame, Lindsay Wagner was everywhere. Her career demanded constant visibility, interviews, appearances, and the pressure to remain a symbol of empowerment during a rapidly changing cultural era. To the public, she appeared grounded and unshakable. What remained unseen was her growing desire to step away from Hollywood's noise and search for meaning beyond applause and scripts. While fans celebrated her on-screen achievements, Wagner was privately questioning whether fame alone could sustain a fulfilling life. That internal conflict marked the beginning of the double life she would quietly maintain for decades. Away from cameras and red carpets, Lindsay Wagner immersed herself in a world focused on wellness, spirituality, and self-discovery. Long before such topics became mainstream, she explored alternative healing practices, mindfulness, and holistic living. These pursuits were not publicity moves or trends to capitalize on. They were deeply personal choices driven by a need for balance and authenticity. For years, she deliberately kept this side of her life separate from her public persona, knowing that Hollywood often dismissed such interests as eccentric or unmarketable. Maintaining that separation required discipline and silence, allowing her to move between two worlds without drawing attention. This dual existence also influenced how Lindsay Wagner approached her career. Rather than chasing every opportunity, she became selective, choosing projects that aligned with her values or allowed her the freedom to step back when needed. To outsiders, her reduced presence sometimes appeared mysterious or even puzzling, sparking rumors about her priorities. Few realized that she was intentionally protecting a private life that mattered more to her than constant visibility. For Wagner, success was no longer measured by screen time alone, but by personal growth and inner peace. What makes this revelation so compelling is how seamlessly Lindsay Wagner managed to live these parallel lives. There were no dramatic exposés or shocking revelations during those 30 years, only quiet consistency. She fulfilled public expectations when necessary, then returned to a personal world built on reflection and healing. Friends and collaborators who knew her well often sensed there was more beneath the surface, but Wagner rarely felt the need to explain herself. She believed that some journeys are meant to be walked privately, without validation from the outside world. Only in recent years has Lindsay Wagner begun to speak more openly about this hidden chapter. With time came perspective, and with perspective came the confidence to share her truth. She revealed that living a double life was never about secrecy for its own sake, but about survival in an industry that often demands conformity. By protecting her inner world, she preserved her sense of self in an environment that can easily erode it. Her honesty has reframed her story, transforming what once seemed like distance from Hollywood into a conscious, courageous choice. Ultimately, Lindsay Wagner living a double life for 30 years isn't a story of betrayal or illusion, it's a story of balance. It reveals the cost of fame and the quiet strength required to remain authentic while meeting public expectations. In sharing this truth now, Wagner invites fans to see her not just as an icon, but as a human being who chose depth over display, long before the world was ready to understand it.